Remodeled homes. The importance of the remodeling is that we won't be able to rebuild every structure. If there are inexpensive local experts in every area, more people will choose to have their homes remodeled with green experts. Pose the questions to the viewers. What else do you think should be standard in homes? Do you have any other related ideas? Do you know of any other green technologies we have not mentioned or overlooked? What ideas do you have to hurricane and or tornado-proof housing? What do you think about fixing and converting the natural gas lines and furnaces to ethanol? In areas where flooding is common, what other proactive steps can we take? Engineers submit green housing designs. We want less of the architects that want to design houses with no corners. Everything designed with the understanding what you put in will need to be repaired or replaced at some time. The most common complaints from electricians and plumbers are crawling around in tight spaces and bugs. There should be easy access to pipes and wires. There should be enough room to use the tools that will be needed. The TV show is about turning everything green and using a base dollar amount to do so. There are energy and living standards that must be met to determine when we are finished. If we can afford to rebuild, we rebuild. If we can afford to remodel, we remodel. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Today's choices. I was at the grocery store, buying healthy food, produce in bulk with my earth-friendly, reusable grocery bag. I looked down in shock. Here I am trying to do my part for the environment. Everything in my earth-friendly bag was in an individual plastic bag. We need more options that do not involve using plastic, which lasts forever, to transport an item for less than a day. With the recent tomato scare and so many others like it, I would rather not be told I could not eat tomatoes. I would rather not pay more because of the weather. In this day and age, I do not see a point in paying more for seasons. I heard a conservative talking the other day saying that the average American is making less money, but aside from gas, their dollar is going further. They are able to buy much cheaper food. The key word here is cheaper. Cheaper made with less actual food. I do not want chemically altered food. I want natural, organic food out of a garden. Preferably my own, but at least one I can ask the gardener what pesticides were used. Everybody ends up cutting corners. It seems the only way to know if your food is really natural is to grow it yourself. Indoor greenhouse grows all fruit, vegetables, and spices needed for the household. Solar panels inside the greenhouse used to reflect artificial lights. Timed lights. Irrigated to recycle water. All buildings will recycle gray water. Big drain in the floor with an easy shut-off valve. If requested and agreed to training, we can supply the home with a larger greenhouse, one in which will provide the opportunity to work from home growing produce for ethanol refinement. Ethanol refinement must be in close proximity. Look into refining in the home or nearby. Work in cooperation with. Contact Habitat for Humanity, Home Makeover, and Similar shows. See if they have interest in partnering or sharing knowledge in the spirit of helping. Students would receive hands-on skills education for high school and college credit. High school credit can also be given to those not currently enrolled in high school. This includes people of all ages with access to the internet or a participating local community center. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. Utilize as many local experts as we can recruit. Experts help develop training materials and train additional help. All the people who choose to pursue green careers and are now experts in their field train our volunteers. All the designs we choose to use or modify make sure the creative minds behind those ideas are rewarded. Share knowledge. No point in reinventing a wheel. However, with changing technologies, we must re-examine the design from time to time. Renters who are tired of renting and ready to own. I am sure that there are many unemployed and homeless people who just want a chance to contribute to society again. We could teach them how to build the houses. We could train them in other careers. Might need a clean and sober policy, or at least a clean and sober work policy. Build locally. Most of our current wind turbines are shipped from overseas. The propeller and nacelle are made in Denmark, and the silo is made in Korea. We then wait for the materials to be shipped. About the only thing they have changed with the design is the height. There is a 500-foot turbine now that has an elevator. I have to give them props for that. Aside from that, the standard design has not changed much. Now, there have been some interesting design changes in the States that address the problems with the old designs. Install the minimum renewable energy generated per household to be no less than 150% of their maximum projected usage and property taxes for a year. This way, they do not have to pay for energy or property taxes, hopefully ever. Now, if they have the room and are willing, we could put in as much renewable energy as the budget will allow. These companies' designs deserve a few more customers sent their way. These models are much safer. No climbing is necessary because the nacelle is located at the base. These designs do not kill the local and migratory birds, not because of the height, but the blades are curved and give the bird a way out. The other propellers just hit and kill, sometimes from the impact of the blade and sometimes from the impact of the ground. When building homes from the ground up, turbines can drop straight down or rotate into the roof depending on what is less likely to have problems and which is easier to be done manually when necessary. When talking about alternative fuels, wind and solar are often used in the same sentence, but it stops there. Until now. This wind turbine's exterior is made out of photovoltaics or solar panels. All wind turbines should be combined with photovoltaics. Another one of my ideas somebody else thought of and put into use. And another reason I need to hurry. Instead of photovoltaics, why not 3D solar cells? Specifically, why not the 3D solar cells created by William Young, the 12-year-old from Beaverton, Oregon, who has made an innovation in the 3D solar cells production that could provide 500 times more light absorption than commercially available solar cells, and 9 times more than cutting-edge 3D solar cells. What about all the wind turbines that have already been built? Seems like a spiral staircase would be much safer than the latter. The spiral staircase can be built inside or outside the silo. Use the silo as the post for the staircase and build around the silo. Spiral staircase greenhouse, solar and wind turbine design. The turbine could contain a greenhouse on the spiral staircase all up the turbine silo. With the silo's exterior shell made of photovoltaics, you should be able to replace most exterior parts from within the silo. This means that the greenhouse will have to go in the center of the spiral staircase, not on the outside wall. We must have easy access to the wall to safely replace and repair the solar panels when needed. Problems with wind farms. The nearby community says that the wind farms are noisy and an eyesore. I consider these complaints ridiculous. Think of the alternatives to replace the needed power. Aside from solar or ethanol, your options are much worse. Coal, nuclear, and natural gas are at least just as noisy of an eyesore, all of which are more dangerous to store, acquire, refine, and damaging to the planet. Most people see this picture and see progress and the energy of the future. I see it as a step in the right direction. I also see it as a waste of space. This is a little better. The land is being used for collecting energy from the wind, and they seem to be growing some form of hay, utilizing the land even more. The windmills by themselves generate enough money to be a worthwhile investment. The hay, or whatever you choose to grow, generates enough money to be a worthwhile investment as well. Admittedly, I did say it was a little better, but we are still wasting space, or should I say surface area. Look at the size of the wind turbine in surface area. This includes propeller and nacelle. Then add up the surface area of the space needed between each turbine. Charles G. Hancock's Be Helpful, Not Hurtful, movie and TV show. Send this to any and or all of the following people: Bill and Melinda Gates, Warren Buffett, Peter Chernin, Al Gore, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. I cannot go public with this until I am a nonprofit and the website is capable of taking donations and selling raffle tickets.